So, like, 2 games ago, the Kings were 2 teams out of being in a wild card spot. And since then, they've won both games, and now they're 2 points away from being first in their division. So, if that tells you anything about how much the rest of our division kind of sucks right now. And it should also tell you that looking at the standings before, like, February is fairly pointless. No need to panic. Only do that because of the amount of the injuries that the Kings have and the inconsistency. But for tonight, we can celebrate because the Kings did a pretty stellar job, first period aside, in defeating the New Jersey Devils. Now, there's a tradition at Staples Center that whenever the national anthem singer gets to the Star Spangled Banners Yet Wave, that they then show on the Jumbotron all of our fantastic and beautiful banners. And so I just like to thank the New Jersey Devils for our first Stanley Cup Championship banner in 2012. We couldn't have done it without you. Today was Rogie Vachon bobblehead day, which is awesome. He was the first person in LA Kings history to have his jersey retired, and as part of our 50th anniversary celebrations, we brought him back. We gave him a really cute little bobblehead. I mean, seriously, it's adorable. Like, look at this. I'm completely in love with this thing. It's... I have so many of these bobbleheads. They're awesome. So he came out. He had a great speech. He said how classy the Kings organization was. He talked about how lovely the fans were and just how proud he was to be a part of that organization for so long. And also thank you to the Hockey Hall of Fame for having him inducted him this year. So we had him this year, Nick Nixon the year before that, and I'm pretty sure Bob Miller was the year before that. So Kings are awesome, guys. And they were pretty awesome in this game today. First period aside, like I said before, that was a bit of a snooze fest. Nick Dowd was awesome because Nick Dowd is always awesome, and he is quickly becoming what Tyler Toffoli was to me maybe 3 years ago. I'm like, dude, I just love that kid. He was great. The rest of the team was not as much. Particularly Budai, who let in the second shot of the Devils there. There were 4 shots on goal. 4 from the Devils in the first period, and the second one of them was a goal. So there's that. But let's not focus on that because the second period, and yes, you are going to be hearing this correctly, the Kings did a really good job in. I'm aware that this is the complete opposite of usually what happens to the Kings during a second period. They usually collapse and fall in on themselves. This didn't happen tonight. They came out really strong. They have 3 really solid lines. That 70s line was out there. I think most of the time they got shuffled a little bit. Like Carter and Toffoli were really, really good together. Pearson had a really good night. Dowd, Brown, and Setaguchi, they had a great night together. Anze Kopitar is skating again, not back in the lineup possibly for tomorrow. Is maybe, not as missed as we would have thought. Obviously, I'm going to be thrilled to have him back, but it was really good to see everybody kind of chip in. Drew Doughty, of course. I mean, you can't go to a Kings game and not notice how great he is. So the first goal of the night was the Alec Martinez slap shot that we just have come to know and love, jazz hands. This play started with the Brown, Dowd, Setaguchi line absolutely just hammering away at the net. They had sustained zone time, guys. I mean, this is not just, they're on for a little longer than their shift. They may had maybe 2 or 3 shifts worth of time where they were cycling the puck. They were not letting the Devils players get off the ice, and they got tired, and they just kept whacking away at it and then keep continuing to set up good plays until the Martinez shot finally went through. And so that's the game tied. Early into the second period, things are looking good. This shot comes from Tanner Pearson, who, with Toffoli and Carter, like I said, that 70s line was just on fire tonight. Jeff Carter had a phenomenal evening, and Pearson, when he gets a shot like this, is rarely going to miss, and tonight he didn't. So the Kings are up 2-1, and it's looking really good. The Kings have had a power play this period, which, I mean, granted, the Kings haven't scored on a power play in forever, and today's game was not any different from that, but they only got a couple opportunities. But still, it was good pressure from the Kings. They had a lot of players that were doing exactly what you want them to do. The Devils just weren't getting shots. They had 4 in the first period, 5 in the second. And honestly, we had 22 shots on goal. We should have been crushing them. It could just have easily been 2-2 by the end of it because of this one particular, like, Budaj is no Jonathan Quick, and honestly, he's not even any Martin Jones, who was phenomenal when Quick was out and has proven himself as a great goalie at the height of his career. I'm still a little concerned. But anyway, end of the period, 2-1. Everything is looking good. Beginning of the third period, like 51 seconds in, Jeff Carter. This video will not do justice to the beauty that was this goal. He gets his own rebound in underneath the goaltender's legs, and it just, even that, the way I'm describing it, cannot accurately reflect just how stunning it was. His hands are so fast, and goalie, like, barely had time to react to, you know, get back down into position. I mean, he didn't, obviously, because it went literally in between his legs, back past into the back of the net. It was stunning. Like I said, guys, Fatherhood apparently is agreeing with Jeff Carter because he has been incredible since he's come back. I'm loving watching him play, which, you know, is nothing new. So the third period continues. Again, Kings are looking... They're not dominating quite as well as they did in the second, because we ended the second with like 22 shots on goal, I think I said, to 9. And then somehow by the end of the third period, or towards the end, they were almost tied with us around like 25. So after Jeff Carter's goal, things kind of went a little bit, like, the Devils started to come back, which is, you know, legit thing to do from a contender of a team. I think they're a contender. Either way, there's a couple of mad scrambles at the net, and I couldn't really see where the puck was, and apparently neither could the players, but they all ended okay until maybe like 2.5 minutes left in the third period, and one of them, Budaj just couldn't cover it, and the other players were getting it out, and one of the Devils got it in. So it's 3-2, and there's just enough time for the other team to make some serious mess of our regulation win. It looked like it may go into overtime. They pulled their goalie, and yet somehow we ended up with the empty net. Thinking Jake Muzzin for this goal. I'm also going to thank Dustin Brown for this goal, because as you can see, he is hustling just as much. While he doesn't touch the puck, he is the one that stops the Devils player from touching the puck and being able to get it out and creating another minute of, oh my god, are they going to score and tie up the game? So we end the game 4-2. It sounds more convincing than it was. We had an incredible second period. We made like 1 or 2 mistakes that cost us in the first period. Apart from that, it was actually, apart from it being kind of, you know, boring, it was actually a well-played period. But the third period, yeah, that got away from us a little bit. Either way, I'm taking the 2 points. It's a regulation win, and an awesome new little bobblehead, and of course, some Chris Sutter dance cam. You gotta dance, dance, dance.